Welcome everybody. It's time. It's time to talk more comics. I want us to think about today's keyword, which is paratext. Oh my gosh, what is it? Whoa. What's a paratext? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. This is the term that, like I said, you could use for many other kinds of medias, not only comics and manga in physical form, but you can also think about paratext with regards to films, film covers, film posters, book covers, book posters. You could also think about paratext in relationship to video games. And you'll see what I mean momentarily. What are paratexts? Well, we'll get to that later. First and foremost, I want to bring our attention to Chainsaw Man. What is Chainsaw Man? Chainsaw Man is a very popular shonen manga. It started releasing in 2018 weekly through Shonen Jump. Part 1 released from 2018 to 2020, and Part 2 has been going on since July 2022 and is currently being published. Of course, different delays have happened in its publication. Chapter 102, Chapter 103, and Chapter 114 were the ones that I could find that had delays specifically noted, where the author took an extra week to do the chapter. Now, what do I mean by the author took a week? Well, typically, shonen, not all, but a lot of the popular ones, including stuff like One Piece, My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Haikyuu, Dr. Stone, Promised Neverland, Demon Slayer. All of these were released weekly through Shonen Jump. Some of them have bi-weekly schedules if they take a little longer, but for the most part, it's a weekly schedule for a lot of them. Chainsaw Man was no exception. Chainsaw Man has a weekly schedule. Okay, why am I bringing this up? Why is this important? Well, I wanted to highlight specifically the ways in which sometimes, art takes text. Sometimes we have to think a lot about not only specific story beats, but as well how we're going to draw specific moments. There is no credible source for this, but apparently Fujimoto reportedly noted that he was taking delays specifically because of things like important story happenings or cover art that he needed to draw. So that brings us to paratexts. Once more, what are paratexts? Well, paratexts are materials that surround a main text, and they're usually supplied by authors, editors, printers, and publishers. They can include things like title, an author's name, cover arts, synopsis, pull quotes, and awards. So these different kinds of aspects of a manga can mean that we sometimes get delays. The kinds of questions that we can ask about paratexts include: what do we notice at first glance? What is emphasized? What aspects of the story shine through? These paratexts are trying to tell us something about the story we're about to read. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with an easy one. We just looked at it. Let's go! Chainsaw Man. So I want to ask y'all, first and foremost, what do we notice? What do we notice about this cover? I notice he has chainsaws. Oh my god, chainsaws. Chainsaws everywhere. So many chainsaws. Chainsaw youngster. Why do you say youngster? Climbing. Okay, dead bodies. Everything is dead. Everybody's going down. And specifically, he's climbing them. Specific action. Clothes seem young. Okay. Young man? Question mark? There's a kind of stylization of the blood. Stylized blood is definitely never a phrase I thought I would say, but here we are. So now what I want to ask is, do we learn anything about setting, character, motifs, themes? Do we learn anything about genre? Anything we can glean about the story just from the cover? Blood and gore. Action genre? What if you open the pages of Chainsaw Man and it's just a romance? It's just about a man with chainsaws looking for love, okay? I mean, he is kind of looking for... Did I just describe the plot of Chainsaw Man? The blurring of good and evil? He looks kind of wild. My note-taking style is questionable, but I get all the ideas down. Ready for his date? That's why he's dressed so nicely. He's single and ready to mingle? Question mark? Third faces an uphill battle. All right. There's gonna be some kind of challenge that has to be met. Single and ready to deal him. Nice. He bought new quicks to impress his girl. No, I just... Okay, so he's seeking to impress someone. I know we're making jokes, but if people who know Chainsaw Man are probably like, how are they figuring this out? Seeking attention. We've gleaned a potential conflict and challenge and blurring of good and evil. There's also a centering of the character, so maybe he has something to prove. He's seeking attention. These are all things that we can figure out just by looking at the cover. Now, I thought this was interesting. On the left side is the English publication of the manga for volume 1, and on the right side is the Japanese. What's different? The titles are done differently. The words crawl more here, right? What effect does the Japanese one have that the English one does not? And vice versa. Bombastic, chaotic. Right, everything seems very orderly on the English cover. It's got a chainsaw. It looks like a chainsaw. Vroom, vroom. So they worked to make sure that when they put this title here, that it was visually striking in and of itself. But on the Japanese one, because we have more of a wraparound, it's more behind the character. We get more focus on Denji. That's him. This is Denji. You can tell because it's written on his shirt. This one, it feels like really grunge, which maybe plays into that crawling chaos. Ooh, crawling chaos. I like that. I like that. I'm using that. I'm writing that. So I wanted us to look at both of these because they do have very different impacts. One is more orderly, but of course it does have visually striking elements such as the Chainsaw Man title. Well, the other one gives more into the idea of chaos, especially this kind of chaos that is bursting and unfolding and is kind of lingering in the background and tucked in between every corner. Let's do another one! So these are the covers for Jujutsu Kaisen 1, 2, 3, and 4. What's going on here? Specifically, what trends do we notice? Always on character, and their expression is always visible. So focus on expression. So it's usually the case if you feature a character on a cover, you're gonna see their hands, right? But there's something about the hands on these covers that is very, very, very put into focus for us. Especially with 3, 4, 1, even 2 features a kind of hand. This is like a giant bird, and this is his hand technically. So in each one we have some kind of hand reaching out, protecting, ready to fight. Why is this significant? Well, for those of us who don't know the Juju story, the Juju storyline is about our main character, Itadori Yuji. And Itadori's main goal is to do what? Is to collect and eat all of the fingers of an ancient curse, of an ancient spiritual evil. And so in each one, we have a bunch of fingers. It is technically the source of his power, right? So this focus on hands reveals to us kind of the importance of fingers in the series. Fingers being a kind of sign of power, because the more fingers he eats, the more powerful the curse, the evil spirit inside of him grows. Let's look at my hero! Both are looking up. Ooh! Classic font style? What do you mean by classic? The kid is the main character. Wishful youthster. Oh, so maybe this kind of looking up is a sign of hopeful thinking. That's the style 60s cartoons uses. We're gonna talk about that soon. The colors clash. The larger-than-life hero. Lots of heavy shading on the hero. This is the English cover. What's different? Deco in the top left. What is this? That's a good question. In fact, that question is what I want to talk about. we see something like this on the other covers that I have here for us. It's a staple of American covers to signify what volume number it was. Oh god! Yep, it's an American thing! But this isn't the only aspect of American superheroes we see in the covers. What else do we notice? The tight-fitting costumes. We have the good old red, white, and blue. It's the same pose, that's right! Look at that! The super pose. So in a lot of ways, the way that All Might is drawn is, number one, to be very, very reminiscent of a Superman, but he also has the same kind of style of superheroes of the Silver Age. And so for those in the know, they'll look at this sticker right here and be like, oh my gosh, this is a superhero comic. Instantly, bam, I know what it is. It's immediately trying to bring that to the forefront of our minds, to make us think about American superhero comics, American superheroes, iconic American superheroes like Superman. For those who aren't in the know, they'll look at it and be like, what that? I also love this signature chin. We have a little hairstyle. Signature hairstyle. You have to have an iconic look, iconic symbol. There's something very iconic about the My Hero Academia cover because it's drawing from these already iconic figures. Now, I can't talk about shonen the whole time. We gotta give it up for some shoujo. Very quickly, what do we notice about this? But what's happening broadly here? It's a lot simpler than the other ones we've looked at so far, I would say. But it's still conveying something to us that's very specific. The zodiac connections. Ooh, okay. So maybe the zodiac signs and this idea of looking for a match and the fact that they're all kind of encircled around her. The fact that the zodiac signs are circled around her tell us what? All signs are still out there. Ooh, okay. We haven't met any signs yet. There's an anticipation of meeting. It surrounds her life, her only focus. The fact that it's her only focus is also definitely emphasized by not only the way that it surrounds her, but also the way that the background is just blank. The eyes are huge. Huge eyes are a staple of the shoujo genre. If something is shoujo, a lot of the times, not only does it have a female lead, but it also has a male lead. So we can anticipate romance. She's wearing a uniform, so school life, lots of drama. We have kind of this rounder font that's used. Feels a bit more playful and lighthearted. Have you noticed she's sitting? She's experiencing a moment of rest. For those of us who are unaware, Fruits Baskets is about a young girl named Toru who discovers that the Chinese zodiac, since its inception, has reincarnated into different bodies. So they are definitely surrounding her life. She wants to make friends with all of them. Of course she does. She's a shoujo protagonist. She's lovely, but she also has a side to her that's very lonely, a hidden side to her that has to be discovered by our charismatic male leads that she must choose between. Ooh, we love love triangles. I wanted to bring up Fruits Baskets in particular because of these two covers. So as the manga continued to sell in the West, there was something that was added to the covers. Do we see what it is? The #1 selling shoujo manga in America. This little award/blurb that you can't peel off. Stuck on my manga and I can't get it off. You know, sometimes when you go to the store and you see a book that's a Netflix series, like, oh my gosh, I really love Alice in Borderlands, or I really love The Witcher. And then you pick up the book and it has a little sticker that says, now a Netflix original series. But the sticker doesn't come off, it's just a part of the cover. But it's not a sticker they put on it. It's literally a part of the cover. Now I hit game. It's so... Ooh, I get so upset. You've ruined a perfectly good cover. But while it is very frustrating, a lot of the times you'll also see, for example, children's books or young adult books have little like medallions on them that indicate that they've won some kind of award or distinguished in a specific category. So these blurbs do tell us something about the book itself. Kaiju number 8. We're gonna use everything we learned. By our powers combined, let us deconstruct this cover. and back cover and synopsis. Let's deconstruct the paratext! We get so much just from looking at a cover and reading a synopsis before we even open the manga. Before you even open a comic, before you even start playing a video game, watching a film, whether that be on Netflix or seeing the poster at a movie theater, paratexts are immensely important to the way that we engage with media. Paratexts rule our first impressions, and they also tell us a lot about not only the story worlds that they are about to reveal to us, but also about the different kinds of passion and dedication and emphasis that the author and their team want us to focus on. I hope that this term is useful for you. That's been Let's Talk Comics with Lily Sleeps Late. Think more deeply about what's marketed to you. Have a nice night, everybody, and Happy New Year, Happy 2023 to anyone I haven't said it to yet. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow.